Any explanation at all? No. Got nothing.
We had no idea they were coming.
He was wearing basketball shorts.
Give me the chicken.
Hi, welcome to Comedy Parenting Radio, the show whose chief comedy writer has been on vacation since day one, 5 years ago.
Dad, they just called and said they're going to have to take another vacation as recompense for being hired.
You know, you probably should have checked that contract before you signed it.
I thought it was okay. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about common mistakes. Everybody makes them. Some of us make more than others.
Oh, we're great at this one.
Stay tuned.
At highway speeds, the average text takes your eyes off the road for about 5 seconds. That's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Stop texts. StopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
He's a hired man, my neighbor, and a cousin-in-law. He's a jerry-rigging fool. He got the tool for the job. Well, it's a vice grip suppliers, and pliers for a wrench for a hammer. Hammer's everything else. It just don't seem to make much difference. I sure do like him, but he's hard on equipment.
Common mistakes, Comedy Parenting Radio. One of them would be telephone calls.
Telephone calls? How's that a common mistake?
Calling the wrong number.
Oh, I'm really good at that.
I had a lady call our house one time and ask if her car was done. And I said, what are you talking about? She said, this is Jerry. And I said, yes. And she says, is my car going to be done? You said it'd be done today. I'm like, lady, I don't know what you're talking about. She called the Ford dealership. Some guy named Jerry told her it was going to be done.
That's a coincidence.
That's such a coincidence. The other day I actually did that. I was on the reverse end of that. I was calling one of our manufacturers to get a part, and I thought I looked up on the website the correct number, and then I called the number, and this lady was like, blah, 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 law firm. And I was like, I think I had the wrong number. And she's like, oh, were you trying to reach this? It's actually 28 instead of 82. Yeah, we get that call a lot.
Oh, goodness.
I've had calls similar to that. Like one time this dude called and was yelling at the top of his lungs at me about calling him up and insulting him.
That could have been a real thing.
No, like
but
genuinely, he was like,
number.
yeah, it was a wrong number. It was some phone number close to the phone that I've been using. He called it up. He was like, yeah, you just called me and said this such and such to my face, even though it was across the telephone.
Another telephone mistake that's very common is actually answering the phone during dinner.
It's very common. We even do it.
No, you guys race to the phone. You guys knock each other out to get to the phone to not talk to a robot.
A couple nights ago, the phone rang, so I got it before Elijah got it, and he was trying to take it out of my hands, and so I chucked it to Dad, like, go long!
And I got the phone.
You know, I've accidentally texted my boss information that I was trying to message one of my siblings. It was it's something to the effect of, oh yeah, we'll meet you at 12 o'clock at the Big O Tires or whatever, and they texted back and they were wondering why they were meeting me at Big O Tires.
Give me the chicken.
There was an autocorrect on one of my texts one time, and I lost a friend that way. I didn't realize it.
Oh, no.
They were insulted.
Oh, no.
On the other hand, when you apologize and say, that was an autocorrect, I didn't mean that. If they took it that serious, they shouldn't have been a friend anyway.
Yeah.
Another really common mistake with phones is cracking them.
Yes.
Is there a human being anywhere in the world that has not cracked their cell phone?
Joshua.
Me. I cracked someone else's cell phone.
Don't loan your phone to Joshua.
My phone's been cracked for about 1.5 years now.
I worked with a guy who actually drove over his phone with his F-150 pickup truck.
Ooh.
And it still worked.
Oops.
But it looked like your windshield of your truck, Joshua.
Whoa.
My neighbor Carl, he lives next door. Pink flamingos on his porch. At night he teaches driving school, and he sits out by his plastic.
Speak up, because you can. Your mind is a powerful tool, and so is your freedom of speech. So use it. It's what separates you from being a number to being an individual. Thoughts, beliefs, opinions, creativity. It's what makes you, you. Stand proud and say it loud. Know your rights. Know your freedom to speak. This message is brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters, Education Foundation, and the Broadcast Education Association.
Inflatable Lobster Claws is having a huge blowout sale.
Get it? Blowout sale?
Currently, you can get our inflatable lobster claws at buy one, get one free.
Now that's a good deal.
These oversized inflatable claws are perfect for back to school, bar mitzvahs, and weddings.
Well, maybe not bar mitzvahs.
Well, maybe not bar mitzvahs.
Inflatable lobster claws come with a lifetime guarantee for as long as you want to own them.
And with our buy one, get one sale, you're guaranteed the time of your life.
You can mix and match lobster claws.
For example,
You can order 2 left claws or 2 right claws to wear at ball game.
here's a testimonial from one of our satisfied customers.
My son bought me 2 inflatable lobster claws for Father's Day. Since then, everybody in the family has ordered a pair. We wear them everywhere we go, from business meetings to Chinese restaurants, and even in the voting booth.
If you like red plastic,
And who doesn't?
order your inflatable lobster claws today.
Move to the back of the bus, folks. Fill up the back seats.
Good grief.
Why don't you guys sit in the back of the bus?
Because you're playing comedy parenting radio up here, and we want to hear it.
There was one time where I had a phone with a white case on it, and I left it on the hood of a white vehicle and forgot about it. And driving down the road, all of a sudden, whoosh, there goes the phone.
And it went.
Did you ever recover it?
I did. It didn't work after that.
Gone.
She recovered it, but it didn't recover.
I recovered it enough to get the stuff off the hard drive.
Another common mistake, and this would be more likely me, is wearing brown shoes to a black tie affair.
Yes,
They're
because you go
very
to
common.
lots of black tie affairs, Dad.
And I don't have black shoes.
You think you'd have learned by now.
You think you'd at least bring along like some shoe polish or something to make them black? What was that? Was that
Jerry Lewis.
Jerry Lewis? Yeah, the scene. You ever seen that?
About that.
Dipped him in black paint or something.
The scene where he makes his own black tie outfit.
Being dressed inappropriately for wherever you go, though, is a common mistake for people.
I hate that so much. I'll actually message the people days in advance and be like, so where are we going? What are we doing? What are people dressing like? What are you dressing like?
I literally dress exactly the same pretty constantly, so I'm good.
That's why you're never invited to places. I heard a young lady today saying that her boyfriend came to pick her up for a date and he was wearing basketball shorts.
Classy.
Just because you're a basketball player at a college doesn't mean you get to wear the shorts out on a date.
I mean,
No. So my makeup remover bottle and my contact solution bottle look very similar. And they share a very similar spot on my shelf in the bathroom.
So what would happen if you put your contacts in makeup remover?
It would sting.
Okay. What
Very
would
much
happen
so.
you'd
if
probably
you
go blind,
put-
actually.
Yeah.
What would happen if you used contact solution for makeup remover?
Well, I've done that before. And the makeup didn't come off very well.
You just smeared it around a little bit.
Yep. I did also put my contacts into the makeup remover, but I realized by the time I put the contacts into the solution, so I just had to throw away that pair of contacts in that case and stuff and then start over fresh.
My suggestion is to all you ladies out there, if you wear contacts, don't wear makeup.
An ounce of prevention is worth 16 ounces of contact solution.
You know what's another common
mistake, but can be highly severe to people's mental health.
What would that be?
Messing up the dates of when guests arrive.
I wasn't expecting you to talk about that on the show.
That was your mistake.
The thing is, we can talk about anyone's mistakes except for Dad's.
Well, that's a common mistake. The dad doesn't realize that we're going to talk about this kind of stuff on the show. Because we talk about it all the time.
So, in instance, for one of the days, we were just lounging around on the couch, and then we heard a knock on the door. And Elijah and I always, like little gerbils, go running upstairs. Or cats. Anyways, it doesn't matter. One of Dad's friends was there, and we were completely unexpected. We had no idea they were coming.
We knew that they were coming, but we thought that they were coming a week later than they arrived.
2 weeks later, actually.
So they arrived sooner than I was expecting.
Yeah, because you wrote it down a week early.
Yeah. But I made up for it later on.
By doing the exact same thing. Except for this time.
Except for the reverse.
It was a month.
I expected them to come earlier.
A month earlier.
And I called them and said, "Are you in Colorado?" And they said, "Why would we be in Colorado?" I said, "Oh, are you going to come to our house today?" They go, "No, not for another month." So it's really common for people to mess up when their house guests are coming.
Hey, at least we got a clean house out of the deal.
Ding dong. Whoa, we've got 10 relatives standing at the door. Better get another box of oatmeal.
The moral of the story is basically, if Dad's writing down dates, double check them, triple check them, quadruple check them. Yeah.
Get a cashier's check.
I got a little change in my pocket going jingle-lang-a-lang. Wants to call you on the telephone, baby. I give you a ring, but each time we talk...
Unexpected reactions to smart financial decisions brought to you by feedthepig.org.
Well, I finally did it. I opened a 401k.
So you're giving up? Just like that?
Giving up on what?
On getting an inheritance from a distant relative.
Don't you think if there were a billionaire in the family, we'd know about it by now?
Listen to me. We are one phone call away from riding horses on our own private polo grounds. One call from christening yachts, having a butler, using summer as a verb.
How do you figure?
Look, everyone's got a rich uncle somewhere. It's statistics. So the best thing you can do is just prepare for the inevitable.
Right, which is why I thought maybe it would be smart to take control of my finances. You know, start using a budget, get out of debt, set some retirement goals.
Budgets? Debt? You watch your mouth. Retirement shouldn't be a goal for us. It should be a way of life.
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Comedy.
Parenting.
Radio.
You know what's a common mistake that people do all the time?
Yeah, drive off without paying for their gas.
I was actually going to say leave the gas cap open.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. And then go driving off without paying.
It's kind of hard to drive off without paying because generally you pay before you...
Front.
Yeah, it's prepay nowadays, Dad. It's been that way for a couple years now.
The house company used to say they had stickers all over said you must pay for your gas or else
you will die.
They had a picture of a state trooper.
Because you must pay for your gas.
No, but no.
You can't.
If you just open up the manhole and start siphoning it out of the underground tanks.
When did this change?
Since I was a kid.
Like 20 years
They
ago.
probably just never took the stickers off.
Oh. And the gas cap, yeah, that's a problem. And not only that, what about the people who drive off with their coffee cup on top of their vehicle?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I've done that at least a couple times.
Also, you're changing out your tires and swapping them around. You forget to put the bolts, or you forget to put the lug nuts back on.
That's a really common one when you have your sons change the tires for you and you don't check them. And then you're driving down the road and you hear this rattle, 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 rattle.
No, it'd be more like a wobble, 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 wobble.
Just in general, just leaving parts off of your car that are supposed to be in it.
One of the common mistakes that I tend to make all the time is after work going into City Market hungry.
Shopping hungry is always a bad idea.
Shopping hungry is a terrible idea.
That's the only time I shop.
Because I go in and I'm like, ooh, brie cheese and Cheetos and Cheez-Its. That makes a great snack.
It's only $30.
You guys have never been in the truck when I'm hungry after work.
Nom, nom, nom.
Yeah.
Chewing on the seats. Another common mistake with food is getting a bad meal at a restaurant, and then you go back again and order the same meal.
I've done that a few times.
Why do I do this?
I do that, but with haircuts. I keep forgetting to ask for changes, though. I just sit down and then my mind goes blank.
The usual.
Well, and they have the little computer that says, we use the number 18 snippers on you with a 13-degree fuzzball, conditioner. And
yeah.
I think it's interesting because, I think you're just so mesmerized at the water going.
You've been listening to Comedy Parenting Radio Common Mistakes. Thanks for coming into the studio today, gang.
You're welcome. It was a mistake to wear my heavy down jacket. Now I'm roasting.
Bye-bye.
It's a common mistake for people to listen to this show.